Can you state your name, your major, and your year?
I'm Brittany Campello. I'm a junior. I'm an exercise physiology major.
And what is your involvement in STEP?
I'm the treasurer.
You eating all your food at home? What changed from being in the dining hall and being
And then going into the dining hall, it's kind of like a big cafeteria with a big surplus of food. So you kind of just go for whatever you want, and it seems like it's just. I think it seems like a free endless supply of food. So you kind of just go for whatever you think you like.
Talk about a little bit more about Project Clean Plate and what the program entails.
Yeah. So Project Clean Plate is it's a national. It's under Chartwells. It's like one of their national programs that they implement at the different universities, for which they are the food program. And so what they'll do is take a week, and they'll take a 2-week span. They'll take 1 week to kind of just weigh the trash. They don't really publicize anything about it. Then they'll take the second week, and they'll weigh the trash again, but they're working with some student group on campus, some service student organization on campus. And then they'll provide any like materials that require monetary funding, so any of the publicity. And then the student group is in charge of going out and telling the students in the dining halls why they should reduce food, not just for environmental reasons, but also for the benefit of what the program will give at the end of the week. So for us, it's to Camilla's house. We'll be donating the food.
And also the difference is given to you in cans.
The difference is given to us in canned food. Yes.
Okay. And
in pounds of canned food.
In pounds of canned food. Wow.
Right. So 300 pounds. So they'll give us 300 pounds worth of canned food.
That's a lot of cans.
So it's quite the amount of food.
Right.
Last summer when we had to get that transferred over to Camilla's house, it was quite the hassle. Especially we were sophomores, and we only had one car between the four of us, and it was
Do you remember how many cans it was?
I don't know how many cans. It was quite a few boxes.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of
boxes.
They just kind of like give us these giant boxes to like stuff into the car, and it's quite the experience.
How has Project Clean Plate been at UM?
It's the second year it's been at UM. They used to do another program many years back, because STEP was a student organization that was revived at the end of my freshman year, so I guess that was 2 years ago. And we revived that organization, but when it was an active organization several years prior, they used to work with Chartwells, and I'm not sure what the name of the project was called, but it was for every swipe that students didn't use. So they call it, like, I think it was like skip a meal for homelessness or something to that effect. And so for every swipe of the that you didn't use for the week, Chartwells would donate I guess a meals were so like a can of food, but they stopped doing that because a lot of people don't use their swipes anyway, and then on top of that, people were skipping meals, and like they would go to the food court or something and use their dining dollars, and that became a more of a financial burden on them because they ended up, which was good for whatever organization they were working with at the time that they got all that food, but for Chartwells, they're still a business, and they lost a lot of food with that, so they couldn't continue with that program. But then they gave us the option of doing Project Clean Plates, which would benefit them as well as benefit our student organization and Camilla's house. So we ended up going with that. But this is the second year that it's been at UM, and we look to continue again next year, and hopefully STEP can continue to bring this program to the dining halls year after year, and hopefully if we get people who are freshmen and every year they kind of recognize the program, and we can make it a little bigger and a little bit more effective.
In the dining hall, they have the little flyers for Project Clean Plate, and they say if you want a sample, ask for it. But most students just get the actual whole plate of food, taste it, don't like it, and throw the whole thing away.
Right.
How can that be curbed, in your opinion?
So I think that it's up to Chartwells and the people that they have working behind the counter to make that more of an option, more of an available option. So like when you go to like public malls or food courts or things of that sort, when they have people behind the counters actively kind of yelling at you saying, try this chicken, or try this new whatever. If you have that more visible to the students, or if you have it in little cups that they can, try first, or just on a toothpick or something like that, that the people working there are actively presenting that option to the students so that they can try it, maybe even in line before they actually get to the front, because if they don't want to take the time when they've already made it up there and waited all that time. But just I think that's something that the Chartwells needs to have some kind of way to have their workers do that and kind of make that option a lot more accessible to the students.
Right. Major and year, please.
My name is Benjamin Wesley Bass. I am a freshman, class of 2016, and I'm a double major in comp sci and mathematics.
My name is George Lombardi. I'm a neuroscience major, and I am of the class of 2016.
My name is Eden Sharabi. I'm a biomedical engineer, and I'm also class of 2016.
Do you all ever ask for samples? Have you ever gotten a sample from a station? No? No from everybody? Have you ever asked for one?
Nope.
No? Did you know you could ask for a sample? You just don't?
No.
Why?
Too much of a hassle.
Too much of a hassle?
It's a little hassle. It's really not significant, but I feel like if it's gonna be bad, it's not gonna be bad enough for me to not eat the whole thing.
At this point in the year, I just avoid the foods I know are not good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep repeating the same menu over and over again, so you already know, and usually you have somewhat lower expectations in the first place, so.
Okay, please state your name, major, and year.
Lola Adeyemo, exercise physiology.
Ever get samples?
Samples?
Do you ever ask for samples?
No.
So you didn't know you were allowed to ask?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Do you think it would be helpful if you had samples?
Yeah, it would be helpful, I think. I was gonna say no at first because, no, you know what, yeah, I think it would be helpful because I did actually in Mahoney, one of the ladies that was working, when I was asking her, how does the chicken taste? She was like, do you want to try it? And so she gave me a little piece and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get some. So, yeah, it'll help.
Okay. Your name, year, and major?
Cody Horseman. I'm a freshman, and I'm a neuroscience major.
Samples?
No.
No? So normally for you to taste a food, you have to get the whole plate of it to taste it?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever seen samples out for you to eat from?
No. I haven't.
No? Tell me your name and what station you work at.
Yasma Johnson to the Fresh Grill.
Okay.
Linda Bellinger, I work on the street.
How long have you worked in the dining hall?
5 years. It'll be 10 years in September.
Based on your personal experience, how much food would you approximate is wasted by the students per meal?
A lot. Like when they have the carry-outs,
Oh yeah.
they pile it, knowing that they're not going to eat it.
Right.
Because I have seen some kids before the carry-outs, get 2 and 3 burgers, will maybe eat 1 and a half, and they would throw the rest away. Yeah.
Do they waste a lot to you, Miss Linda, or?
Well, where I work at, it's like up in the air, It's not as much being wasted because, like I said, I know the portion control. But some is wasted, I know, because when I go back in the dish room, the guys say they didn't eat this, and I might see some things that they left on their plate. Okay.
Okay. Think students waste food?
We got it.
Because we got it?
Yeah, because we got it. Because they pay for it. They could get it if they want it.
That sums up the question because it's there, and they are entitled to get food everywhere in each.
Don't like certain foods, so like when they don't like the food, they get it and throw it away. Would you say that's true?
They tested it out.
Taste
They
it,
don't like it,
and they don't like
or
it.
it's something they've seen over and over again. They get it. That's a waste too.
Right. So they don't really utilize getting the samples, right?
No.
They just get the whole plate.
They get the whole
plate.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, they take it, and then they come back.
They might get something
and
else.
come get something else.
Okay. So do you think? Okay. Have you all heard of Project Clean Plate?
Yeah.
Yes.
How effective is Project Clean Plate to you all? Do you think it actually helps students not waste food and the staff waste food, or do they not even pay attention?
No.
Don't even pay attention.
They don't
It's
even
not
pay
really paid
attention.
attention. No.
Okay. So like, where does all the garbage go though? Y'all just put it in the
They go in garbage bins and then they take them
Take it out in the
outside.
and put them in like these right here? Okay. Have you all heard of the South Florida Feeding South Florida initiative the Chartwells is a part of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Feeding
you
the homeless and stuff.
right? Do you
Yeah.
all do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We collect.
They have food bank.
Yeah,
Yeah, have
the
a food bank.
for the food banks. Yeah.
So what do you guys do? Like, do you ship food to
Yeah,
them?
they come around and they pick up the food that we have. You know that's they overcook so much, and they put them in the big containers and they have them for them. And when they call them, they'll come and pick it up.
So like, do y'all give away food that y'all already cooked, or is it food that y'all haven't cooked yet?
Oh, already cooked.
So like, for like, just say like with the grill, like let's say you have like a lot of French fries left over, you give them
No,
French fries.
no,
What do you
like
what do you give them?
like it's containing like meats and roast beef and
Okay.
beans, string beans and potatoes and stuff like, food, nutritional food.
Okay.
It's not like fries or hamburgers or anything like that.
Okay. So even if you already cooked it though, y'all do give it away.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do give.
Do y'all do it every day, every week, every month?
Whenever there's too much, it can't be served,
Okay.
and they just put it away for us.
Okay.
Because like a lot of I had a lot of eggs one day. I had the wrap with the breakfast stuff, and I had a lot of eggs with peppers and onions and stuff in it. So they put that aside, freeze it, put it aside for somebody. But it's not every day that we have a lot of stuff that we can contribute to the homeless and stuff. But they do have some because it's some in the cooler now that I've seen that they're waiting, to accumulate a lot of it so they can just give it away.
So in general, like if y'all overcook stuff, do y'all normally throw it away, or do you put it to the side for the South Florida?
They put it aside.
They put it aside, yeah.
Do you guys ever throw away any food that you overcooked, or that's too much food, you just have to throw it away?
No.
No?
They put it aside. They always put it aside.
So like even with the eggs at breakfast, if there's too much of those,
because you can't use them again.
right?
No.
So like if you can't reuse
They
it,
throw it away.
okay.
How do you think the amount of food wasted can be reduced in the dining halls?
I think a lot of it needs to come directly from the people who are serving. So the people that are working at Chartwells, I think they need to make policy to kind of reduce the amount of food that they will serve you initially, and that if you want more, then like to go back and ask for more. I mean, because it is it's a, I guess you could call it buffet style. I don't really know how you would call it.
Style, yeah.
So if you want to go back, like you can just, if you're still hungry after you had your first plate, go back and have 7 more if you want to. But when they go and like they give you that giant sandwich, or they give you, like 2 grilled cheeses or something like that, I think if it starts from there, and sometimes, someone will eat it and then just like that'll be a perfect portion and they won't even have thought about it elsewhere. I think another thing, like I think they serve a lot of like fries and stuff too. When you ask for fries, they're just like throw it on there.
Yeah. Do any of your friends or people you know personally waste food, or?
Yeah, most of the time when I would, especially at dinner, a lot of times people would go back, or they even just their first plate, they'd eat like half of it and decide that they didn't want any more, so they would get like cereal or something. But they'd throw away like at least half their plate of food.
Right.
I usually try not to do that, but I know most of my friends would do things like that.
So when you didn't eat all your food, why do you think that happened? Were you just full, or did they give you too much?
It was probably more because like I just didn't really like the meal that I had been served.
Okay.
I mean, that's usually what it...
Yeah, that's the response.
So when you don't eat all of your food, why do you think you don't eat it all? Like, what are the factors as to why you don't eat it all?
I don't eat it all because I overestimate how hungry I am, and then I just get too full, and I literally cannot force anything. I can't force myself to ingest any more food. Or I'm on a time crunch, and I have to run.
Okay.
normally I overestimate how much I can eat, and other times the food might not be like cooked properly, or I just don't like it, so I'll leave it. So 5% of the time, I just won't eat it.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bad dish. And I didn't realize
Yeah, that's usually the biggest reason I don't eat.
Because it tastes bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like I expected.
Because it's not very good. I mean, sometimes it is, but the majority of times, if I don't know, you get tired of eating the same thing over and over.
Not that much? Are you going to eat the rest of that?
No.
No? Okay. Why do you think you don't eat all the food when you don't eat it all?
Sometimes I'm not as hungry, or it's not as good, or
Right.
sometimes there's too much.
Your name, year, and major.
Okay, my name is Atara Mohammed. I am a freshman at the University of Miami, and my major is Spanish.
Is portioning a factor? Do the dining hall workers give you too much food?
Sometimes, it depends on who you are. Like, sometimes the women be like, here you go, baby, you need to eat more, and so they feed more. So they give you more food, but that's it.
Okay, how do you think the amount of the food wasted can be reduced?
I guess they can listen, because some students do say, can I have a little bit, and they still give you more than what you asked for.
There's a difference in 300 pounds.
Okay.
But I don't know what the starting and ending weights were.
Right.
I know she had told me something about another school that they had done 1,000 pounds of difference.
Wow.
But she said even 1,000 pounds was something like, it was actually a really small number. It was something like maybe 8% reduction, 8 or 9% reduction in the amount of waste. So I guess if you do that math, it comes out to like a few thousand pounds of food and paper products that are thrown away.
From a week?
For 1 week.
Wow.
1 week, yeah.
Okay.